Hello, I am Martin Fencka and welcome to the first episode of another of my Civilization 5 Vox Populi series. As usual, because this is the first episode, we will go through all the settings, we'll check the mods, introduce the civilization that we're gonna be playing, and I'll show you 3 different starting locations, and it will be up to you guys to decide which of those 3 we'll be using for the series. And also, as usual, I'll make these 3 starting locations available for you. They'll be available tomorrow when the second episode is out. So, first of all, the mods that we're going to be using. Again, it's just the Vox Populi pack. It's the version from the 20th of April. I was hoping that maybe you would get a newer version, but I don't have any information on the patch release schedule, so yeah, there is nothing new for now. This version is like more than 2 weeks old by now, but as I said, I don't have any information about when the next patch will be released. So we're gonna be using this version, 20th of April, and if we get something new, let's say in next 2 or 3 days, I would probably restart. But for now, as I said, 20th of April, if you want to play with me, make sure that you have the same version of Vox Populi installed. We are not using any other mods, mainly because this is still a beta version. This is not like a full patch release. There are some things that are changing quite rapidly during this beta patches, and many other mods are just not optimized, and from what I've read in forums, they're quite unstable, so let's just keep it simple for now. We'll be playing quite an interesting civilization, so I'm pretty sure even without mods, we'll have, or more mods, we'll have more than enough fun. But I'm planning to add some more mods when we get, like, the next full version of Vox Populi, and the developers of the other mods have time to like catch up with the Vox Populi development. Then we'll start adding up some more mods. I especially want to play at some point with the 3rd and 4th unique component. I'm really looking forward to that, but for now, yeah, I just don't think the game would be stable enough with it. So that's that. Now, what about the setting for this series? Let's go setup, advanced setup. So we're gonna be playing as Venice. That's why I said that the save that we're gonna be playing is unique enough. We'll check all the unique stuff for Venice when we are loading the game. We are playing against 7 civs on a Pangea map, and all the settings are standard. I didn't change anything here. I want the game or the map to be as standard as possible and see how Venice can basically handle the standard settings. I just added 1 city-state because with our unique ability, we are basically gonna eat up 1 city-state very early. And for a standard map, the normal number of city-state is 16, right? So I want to have the normal number of city-states on the map after we eat the first one. So that's why I added 1 city-state manually. As for the advanced options, I'm not sure if the game kept all the settings. Let's see, complete kill, disable bias, enable event system, no. Would be playing with events, no research agreements, no ancient ruins, no bad events, no events at all, no tech trading or brokering, no trade events, and quick combat, quick movement, raging barbarians, transparent diplomacy, all the stuff that I'm using for my series if I want to keep them like as standard as possible. So these are the settings, and let's go now to the starting locations. Venice 1, 2, 3, there we go, load. I was looking for a decent starting locations, but I wanted each of these starting locations to have something unique that they will require a little bit different approach. They may look similar at the first glance, especially the first 2, but because they are very different, different luxuries, they will require a different approach. So here, this is probably the strongest story. Jungles, forests, hills. We are starting with citrus, so pretty good starting luxury. And also because in the previous series you wanted to see more around the starting locations, I actually moved our units a little bit. So I'll show you more around the map. This is how I moved the Pathfinder, and I wanted to know what's here. And luckily, we found that there is a sea tile on this side. Actually, I think I moved the settler here the first time, but it doesn't matter. It's important that this is a coastal tile. These both are coastal tiles, so the starting location here would probably be this jungle hill for the initial production. And with that, we wouldn't have any luxury in the first ring of tiles around the city, but we'd be starting on the coast, hill jungle start for the production boost, and we would have double citrus and salt in the range, quite a few mountains for production. So this is pretty good starting location. Once we get the first citrus, the city should start snowballing pretty quickly. What could happen here that the border grows first to the salt, and that would slow us down a lot. But I think it's unlikely because this is a hill. I think this tile will have priority. So that's number one. Then we get number two. Here is number two. So also jungle. To the north we have some plains though, and the difference is, or are luxuries, of course. I moved the settler here because that's gonna be the starting location. Again, Jungle Hill for the production boost. But as you can see, we don't have this time plantation luxuries. We have mining luxuries in, or the jade is mining based, right? And then we have a marble as, I never remember this one. Quarry based luxury. And I'm not sure how I moved the Pathfinder. I think this way maybe. Yeah, I think I moved the Pathfinder like this. So there is one more jade tile, which means we are one jade away basically from a jade monopoly, which should be pretty good for the extra golden age length and golden age points. So yeah, while the terrain is very similar to the first one, because the luxuries are different, this may require quite a different approach, especially early, so we get everything. And also the difference between this one and the first one is that here it's quite likely that we'll be able to get monopoly, while I think in the first one we won't be able to get it. There we had the citrus, 2 tiles with citrus, and I think there was one to the south that we saw as well. That would be too far. So it's hard to say how it would be with monopolies there. So this one is maybe stronger in this regard, that the monopoly would help a lot. So that's that, and now for the third one. Maybe before we check the third one, let's talk about the unique abilities that we have. Venice is very different, so if this plays a role in your decision. Also, I want to try Domination Victory as Venice, the least like common victory type for Venice. That's what I'm going to be trying. So again, if that plays a role in your decision making, I want to make sure that you know. Now, our unique ability, Serenissima, cannot found annexed cities. Everyone knows that. Trade route cap doubled, so we can have double the amount of trade routes. Target restriction removed. Free merchant of Venice at trade, so when we research trade, we get our unique unit. And puppets of minus 30% yield penalty, so we get more from puppets. And our puppets can use gold and gain happiness like normal cities. So Venetian puppets are like halfway between normal puppets and like normal cities. And then our unique unit, Merchant of Venice, replaces a Great Merchant. Aside from the ability to conduct the trade missions, the standard Great Merchant ability, the Merchant of Venice can purchase city-state outright. So that's why I added the extra city-state, because as we get trade, we get the merchant, and we'll buy one of the city-states right away. And bring them under Venetian control as a puppet. It can also construct colonia, which are stronger towns that claim adjacent tiles and can be built adjacent to friendly territory. So they can build strong towns that work partially as citadels, in that they claim some extra territory. So this is going to be strong. I won't be using all our merchants to just get more city-states. It will probably be quite important at some point to get some territory with them, if we are trying to get at least one monopoly. I will try it. I think it should be possible, especially on the second starting location. Not sure about the first one because we don't know enough about the map, but gaining the extra territory with merchants excuse me, can be quite relevant. And also when we combine this ability with generals, we will of course be getting generals as well, and they work the normal way. They also gain extra territory. We could like grow the territory around our capital to pretty ridiculous size. I'm not sure if on the standard map this will matter, if you'll be able to like control enough, but who knows, right? We have only one city that we can work with like properly, so gaining extra territory around it might be pretty relevant. So that's the merchant, and then we have Piazza San Marco, which is a replacement for a national monument, so it comes with writing, and unique national monument for Venice. 33% great people rate in the city, so we are getting all great people significantly faster. Enemy spies in the city cannot perform advanced spy actions, so later, or if we get actually England on the map, they can't get advanced spy actions early anyway. So later in the map, in the game, when spies become stronger, they won't be that relevant in our capital. And it unlocks access to Murano Glassworks, Arsenale di Venezia, and the Rialto district once guilds are researched. These are unique Venetian buildings, and they are mutually exclusive, so we can only pick one of them. I will show you in the Civilopedia as we get into the game what they do exactly. Let's jump into the game, and now when we check guilds, here they are. So Arsenale di Venezia. Unique building for Venice, 15% production in the city, increases the military unit supply cap from population this by 25%. All naval units gain Venetian craftsmanship promotion, boosting combat strength by 10% and movement by 1. And as you can see, requires Piazza San Marco in the city, and that is somewhere, so cannot be constructed if Rialto district or Murano Glassworks are present in the city. So as I said, mutually exclusive. I think this is the one that we'll be going with because of the military supply gap increase. I think in this game that will be our most difficult problem to beat. How we get enough unit cap so that we can fight effectively. I don't really care how many cities we directly control, that it's just our capital, and then we will have puppets all over the map. That's not really a problem that we can't directly control that many cities. The problem is, can we somehow increase our supply cap enough so that we can fight effectively? That's I think what's the game gonna be about. And yeah, Rialto district. This is a trading based, a unique building for Venice, because it's of gold purchases in all cities reduced by 10%. So, I mean, there is a world where we could use this one because the discount overall will be pretty significant. We can buy stuff in all puppets. So, yeah, this could be something if we combine it with like a proper policies. The discount would be really nice. 15% in the capital, provides one World Congress delegate for every 100 gold per turn produced, caps at 25% of all city-states ever alive. So if we get enough gold per turn, this would give us 4 extra votes in the World Congress, which is also something. This is like the second option right now that we could go with. Incoming trade routes generate 3 gold in the city, and the trade route owner gets also 3 gold per turn. So that's Rialto district, and then fourth one is Murano Glassworks, unique building for Venice, great person improvements, and villages worked by all cities, gain +2 food and tourism. So this is not one that we are interested in. I mean, the food bonus is nice, but we don't really care about the tourism. Provides 2 great work slots for arts or artifacts. So yeah, not something that would be super important for us. This teaming bonus isn't bad, but it would take too long probably to get it. I mean, if I would go for this one, it really would be for the theming bonus. And if we get enough great people improvement and like lack food around our capital, then this could be a pretty insane amount of food. By the time we get to Murano Glassworks, I can't imagine having 10, maybe even more than 10 great people improvement around the city. If we really like go that way, try to rush great people. And that's a ton of food. So I'm not saying it's impossible I would ever build the glassworks, but I think it's unlikely the other 2 options fit better to what I want to do in the series. Okay, now we know everything about Venice, what's unique to Venice, and here we can check finally the 3rd starting location. So as you can see, this one is completely different. We are starting on plains basically, but quite a few decent resources around. And what convinced me to try the starting location is this lake, because here I still want to start on the coast, so this will be this forest. We can actually go there. I'm not sure how I did this. I think I moved the Pathfinder south to give him vision from the hill, and then I moved the settler this way to get vision to the north. There is a desert, but there is a hill, and I think we have more than enough tiles to work. The problem here is we'll need to improve tiles very quickly. Like, right, we have 3-1 tile to work right away. That is great. Then we have the wheat when the border grows. We have the coffee, and that's it basically. So I'm hoping there are maybe some horses, which is very likely here. Also, we could get the mine here, and hopefully there might be a fish. Actually, and I think that I didn't move this way. I think I moved this way because I remember that this tile is Wales. I can tell you that. I wasn't sure if I moved this way or this way when I was checking the starting location. So I moved the settler here, and yeah, there is Wales on this tile. So this could potentially be the worst starting location if these tiles remain just normal plains with nothing on them. Then it would only be about the great people, how quickly we could fill up these plains with great percentile improvements. Or if we get like enough horses and cattle and all the kind of stuff that you can find on plains, bison, I don't know what else can be on plains. Maybe if we get sheep on the hill, stuff like that. This could be still pretty strong, and we could get a lot potentially from stables, so that this could be a pretty decent production potential, but it depends on the resources that we don't see yet. So maybe let's call this the most risky start. And I think, yeah, now we are done with this episode. You know all that you need to know. And now it's up to you to decide which start you think is the most interesting for the series. The voting will last 24 hours since this episode is released. And tomorrow, it basically ends tomorrow when you see that the 2nd episode is released. Until then, you can decide which of these 3 starting locations you like the most. And yeah, as I said, this will be all for today, so I hope that you like the theme for the series. I hope that you're gonna join me for the next episode again, and until then, have a good time. Bye-bye.